Heavy G.
Remedy Entertainment is a video game industry treasure at this point. Like Criterion, id, and that guy who makes nude bots for the Resident Evil remakes, its contributions to gaming have been nothing but positive. They started as a company back during the naughty 90s from former demo scene enthusiasts, and started making moves in a garage, just like the Wild Stallions. Demo scene is a kind of subculture of nerds that really like making trippy 3D visuals to flex their programming skills. So they were basically alpha nerds. And what do alpha nerds like doing more than anything? They like to flex it like Mandark. Remedy started making proper games during the mid-90s, and a couple years later in 2001, they got their big break in the industry and released Max Payne to critical praise and a bunch of grateful shut-ins. Myself included. The game is still fun to this day, and well worth your time with it. The gunfights are frantic, desperate, and weirdly graceful through the bullet time difficulty. Max is more fragile than my grandma, and a lot like her, only a bullet or two will take him out. So you really gotta abuse the bullet time to scrape out progress through the firefights. And the progress is worth it. The story's a little basic in that Max is basically the Punisher with a drug problem, but it's presented well enough with cool comic panels and interesting introspection from Max himself. Honestly, middle school me thought that this shit was deep, and the delivery from James McCaffrey is just instantly cool. It's almost as if this guy was born to play a depressed dude who's too good at killing to die, and his performance acts as the perfect little bow to keep this carnage concoction combined.
There was a blind spot in my head, a bullet-shaped hole where the answer should be. Call it denial.
Upon the critical and financial success of Max Payne on PC and console through the help of publisher Rockstar Games, Max Payne was greenlit for a sequel. And in 2004, Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne, was released to, again, a shitload of critical praise. I love this game to death, and personally it's my favorite from the trilogy. The presentation is less amateurish, and the story is a bit more engaging through its depth. Max has been exonerated from all the murders from Max Payne 1, and he goes to work at the NYPD as a detective. And then there's conspiracy, betrayals, haunted houses, hot makeout sessions. Honestly, this game's got it all. They added that groovy Havoc physics engine that was all the craze back in the day, loads more guns, messed with the bullet time a little bit to make Max feel more like Neo, but they also took away Max's signature smirk. You know the one, where he looks like he's trying to tie a cherry knot stem with his booty hole. Max Payne 2 didn't sell as well, unfortunately, but Remedy was still hot shit, and Microsoft knew it. So, in 2012, with Microsoft Publishing, they released Alan Wake. And I really want to talk about Alan Wake, but I'm going to save everything that doesn't have anything to do with our favorite New Jersey native for another video. Another game born out of the Microsoft Remedy partnership is Quantum Break, a game that really should be mentioned in a dictionary definition of the word. Not that the game itself is bad, it just feels like one of those game by committee kind of things where they kind of kill the concept through bloat. Like seriously, who thought someone would want to sit through a half hour of TV between levels? Like, maybe Microsoft was just trying to flex budgets at people or something. Who knows? But, whatever. After that stint, Bill Gates and Sam Lake went their separate ways. Unless you're reading one of my fanfictions. Remedy went on to develop a deal with Epic Games and release Control, a game that, mark my words, will be on one of those underrated classics YouTube compilations in a couple of years. Guaranteed. If you haven't played it, you're dumb. Okay? You're Dumbo head. Okay? Or you have bad taste. Or you're broke. That's literally the only 3 reasons why you haven't played Control yet, okay? Or it should be. Because this game has enthralled me in ways that I have never felt before. Last time I was so enthralled by something, it was the first time I saw boobs, okay? Go play Control. And I want to talk about it, but I'm going to do that in another video also. Remedy has done good, okay? And in introducing Max Payne to the world, they showed that they know what to do to make a compelling game, even with limited resources. That confuses me so much as to how Rockstar Games, a company with unlimited resources, could mess up Max Payne 3 so much! I'm a Rockstar fanboy, alright? Personally, I think that when it comes to presentation, writing, and overall entertaining concepts, they've always been on point. But when it comes to Max Payne 3, it's like they forgot to stop doing whippets in the corner before development started. You've seen 100 videos criticizing Max Payne 3, but really you should go check out Raycevick's. My video is the equivalent of Flavor Flav yelling, "Yeah boy," after Chuck D says some real shit. Go check out Raycevick's. Consider this video an addendum. The gunplay is fine. Guns shoot, and at the time they were animated with more detail than ever before, but nowadays they look like poo-poo. Actually, that's something that's exclusive to this Rockstar game from the 8th generation. While GTA 4, Red Dead Redemption, and Midnight Club LA still look good to this day, more impressive since only one of those is on PC, Max Payne just doesn't really... well, it's not ugly. Well, it is, but intentionally so, right? It's the world of Sao Paulo, Brazil, seen through the eyes of a drunk pillhead ex-cop, so it makes sense that it's not that visually appealing, but there's just something about this game that makes it look shitty. And no, I don't mean that man on fire filter that starts annoying the shit out of you within 10 minutes of starting the game. God, this sucks. I don't think I'll ever be able to put a word to it, but maybe it's the anti-aliasing? Like, it's just ugly, okay? Maybe my eyes are dumb, but whatever, it's ugly to me. The gunplay in the game is fine, barring Max's tendency to stand up mid-firefight and give the enemies a freebie. Not that they'll need it. These guys have armor so good that you can dump 2 AK mags into them and they'll just ask you about the release date of the next FIFA. And they'll ask you that because they're dumb. They will rush the hell out of you with no self-preservation, and barring that, will hunker down behind cover until you take a shot, because they are designed to piss the player off, not give them a challenge. Not that they need any smarts, they outnumber you 100 to 1. And that's always really been the dark joke of Max Payne's existence as a character. He's never happy. He wants to die, but he's just really good at killing people. That's kind of his thing. That's why the games keep sending squad after squad after him, because he can take it. But the thing is, the levels in Max Payne 3 are literal friggin' tunnels that push Max, our turd-like main character, through the poop chute. There's no room to maneuver. You're basically forced to keep ducked behind cover and take shots like a turtle with weapons training. And if you do try to make moves or have fun in the game, you get struck down with the power of 1,000 suns. Max Payne 1 and 2 let the player progress at their own pace, and even gave them moments of levity through exploration and trippy dream sequences. But what does Max Payne 3 give you? Cutscenes. Every 3 frickin' minutes. I play through Max Payne 2 every other week as a sort of junk food game to give me time to catch up on my shows. But I can't stomach the idea of having to slog through Max Payne 3's annoying story breaks any more times than I need to. It's just boring after the first time, and even playing in arcade mode you have to sit through connecting scenes between gameplay sequences. This whole game is designed to make you watch rather than play, and that applies even more to the game's death system. When you die, you're stuck in slow-mo trying to get a shot off on the guy that got you, but if you're out of ammo, you just have to sit there and awkwardly stare into your killer's eyes as you die. Usually in a pose that makes it look like you don't want to get up and get your bagel bites out of the microwave. Look, I could smack talk this game some more, but to be honest, it just doesn't really deserve it. Rockstar tried. It's not their fault that the baby they were trying to deliver ended up being a really convincing turd. They got way too up their own asses to make a good game, and they were too focused on making playable demo scene for the Rage engine. Max Payne is great as a trilogy, but play the third for the conclusion of the story instead of for the gameplay. The biggest problem it has is that Rockstar developed it like a movie instead of a game. They wanted to show off the big scripted sequences that were all the rage back in the day, but all they did was neuter the single player for a multiplayer that was just never going to beat the big dogs at the time anyway. If you want to try shooting dudes in the face in bullet time, why not try out Trepanning 2? Game's free on Steam.